Hey Libra, welcome to May. So Libra, your ruling planet Venus went direct, right? And finally, it was a long time there. It was in its retrograde period. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about ourselves, our relationship with money, our relationships in general, our relationship with ourself. Okay, so this was deep. I think it was pretty hairy. I had an intense Venus retrograde. So it did go direct, but it's going back over everything that happened. Okay, so this is the third swipe. So like it's almost like you got it to see it from that angle, you got to see it from that angle. Now you're seeing fully. Okay, now so we can start to move ahead. We know that May 1st that comes to an end. So now we're in fresh territory. Okay, so make sure that you pay attention to what you've learned over these past couple months, because it basically took us back to the end of January. So kind of giving some thought to that. Okay. Now, you don't have a lot of things in your sign. There's not a lot of planets or activity in your sign, Libra. But opposite you in Aries, you have Venus there until June 5th. You have Neptune that just made its move into Aries. After 14 years in Pisces, it's going to spend 14 years in Aries. So you're going to have this opposition going on right across from you, as Aries is always right across from you in the zodiac. So Neptune's there. Neptune makes things cloudy, but it also makes things creative. It's the great healer. So you have an opportunity to do a lot of healing, especially in your relationships. And Neptune is such creative energy, right? And such karmic energy. And so you're going to be dealing with Neptune for a long time. Okay. Now, Saturn just is going to make its move into Aries after spending 2.5 years in Pisces. It's moving on May 24th. And so you're going to have an opposition with Saturn, the planet of responsibility. So there's like a lot of creative energy with Neptune, and then Saturn's there to help you really put things into motion, which is really great. Venus is there to help you out and bring in harmony and creativity and beauty. And you also have Chiron, the soul's wound point, across from you too. So there's a lot of deep work, deep healing, but there's a lot of forward movement. And so, yeah, even though there's not planets in your sign, there's still a lot of activity. Now, you do have a trine with Pluto, the planet of transformation and change. Since it's moved into the air sign of Aquarius, you're an air sign, Libra, so you make a trine, a positive aspect. And yeah, it's great that it's positive because it's going to be there for 19 years. Started this past November. Okay, so Pluto's intense, it can bring in intense change, but it's trining you. So it can bring in new people, new friends, new relationships. And we know how much you love relationships, Libra. Jupiter is in Gemini until June 9th. And so Jupiter's been trining you for the past year. Jupiter's the planet of luck, blessings, and expansion. So it makes things big. Okay. So that's going to be changing soon too. Now, the moon's going to be in your sign of Libra. So these will be power days for you on Thursday, May 8th at 3:06 a.m. through Saturday, May 10th at 3:58 p.m. Power times for you, Libra. Now, I picked a few cards in advance for you so I can make sure I know what I'm talking about, what I'm telling you. And the first card that came up is the Eight of Wands. And this just reminded me of Venus going direct, because Eight of Wands, I think people call this sometimes the honeymoon card, but there's fire energy and it's advancing forward. Okay, so all these wands are moving forward. So Venus direct. So I hope there's a lot of passion too. I hope you get a trip in. This is often a card of taking a trip, especially a honeymoon. Here's the Two of Swords here, and 2 is a relationship number, just like you, Libra. And this is 2 of air, just like you, Libra. And so this is when we see someone, they've usually got 2 swords crossed and they've got their eyes covered, because there's a need to go within and to make sure that you're having the inner conversation with yourself and your higher power and your higher self. And so it's asking you to make sure to take that time also. Now, the King of Cups shows up, and he's from the Herbal Tarot, so he's Saw Palmetto. And I was reading about Saw Palmetto, and it's used often for men and for their prostate gland, okay? And it helps like revitalize. And it also helps with like urinary tract, but I think it was a little bit more towards men. So you may have a partnership in your life that needs some revitalization, right? Looks like a water king here, an emotional king. I think of a king of cups as a king of creativity. And he's offering you this cup of satisfaction. If you're not in a relationship, you may be being asked to be in one, okay? And make sure you take the time to make sure that you speak with your internal self about this before committing. You may be processing something about a relationship, and a King of Cups can be a great therapist too. So if you need to talk to someone, that's a good thing too. Now, your oracle from the Oracle of Mystical Moments is the Night Ride, card number 46. And we see two owls sitting on top of an elephant. It's really cute. And so the Night Ride. So we've got a little relationship there with those two owls. Let's see. The book says, the Night Ride, protector, wonder in the night, big brother, friendship. An elephant transports two owls on his back, a mother with her young bird child. Protectively, she has folded her wing over the young owl's head. The elephant rides through the night, blowing stars up into the sky through his trunk. Connected with magic and wonder, the elephant is a protector, a strong shoulder to lean on in all times. Even during dark times, you can feel safe and secure behind him. So there's some comfort here. There's some nurturing. There's some mom and child energy, which we know it's going to be Mother's Day this month. So just make sure that you're turning to the people who comfort you, and make sure that if you're not in therapy, don't take it personal. I tell everybody to go to therapy. So there's something there about speaking, getting your feelings out, and processing and moving. Now, what we're going to do here is pick a card for each week of the month of May. I'm using my little Everyday Witch minis. And so we're going to pull one. This will be for the week of Sunday the 4th, Mother's Day, the week of the 11th, the 18th, and then Memorial Day weekend week. So let's see. Starting off with the 5 of Wands. 5 is a number of change. Wands is fire. So we've got, looks like everybody's yapping, right? Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody has something to say. Even the cats are fighting down below. All right, so you may be dealing with a lot of people's opinions. You may be dealing with a change. Maybe people are shocked at the change that you're going through. Week 2, the 11th, Mother's Day week, we've got the 4 of Cups. So we see a gentleman looking like he's kind of stressing out over those 3 cups, which usually we don't stress out about the 3 of Cups because it's like social energy. Maybe he's got some friendship issues or people he spends time with. But this new cup is showing. Cup of satisfaction. Okay, it's being delivered. He hasn't really noticed it yet. So we can see that better times are coming. Now, that's Mother's Day week, okay? So don't forget to acknowledge mom, whether she be, on this side of the veil or not. Acknowledge her, and remember that, sometimes we think that maybe the good times are over, but no, there's more opportunities coming in. That Ace of Cups that's being carried on that tray to you is the cup of satisfaction. So there's some good times still to be had. The week of the 18th, you have the 3 of Pentacles, all about collaborating with others. Almost looks like a classroom setting. So making sure that you aren't just doing this alone. Libra, you like to be in relationships. So it's saying get out there, get out and learn, and maybe sign up for some classes, just get around other people. The week of the 25th, Memorial Day, you have the Empress. So this is your strongest card that's shown up. This is Taurus energy, right? We're going into all these planets in Taurus. And this is ruled by Venus, which you are also ruled by Venus. She's very pregnant. She's about ready to give birth. So this can be a birth of a project, a birth of a new version of yourself. But there's a lot of beauty there. Interesting how it came in under the owl, mother and child. So got a lot of mom themes. You've got a lot of kind of just not worrying about what other people say, focusing on what's going on with you, making sure that you've really done your internal work, showing up in therapy if you need to, finding the right people to lean on, and kind of moving into new times with that Empress energy. So I'm going to push these cards to the back. And we're going to roll some dice here, and we're going to work with our charm bowl. So let's see, we got some one-way dice here. I see it says Aquarius. I got the Sun, Aquarius in the 12th house, which is Pisces house. Okay, so the Sun shining in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius brings in newness. Aquarius is ruled by both Saturn and Uranus, right? And Aquarius trines you, right? So we see the sun shining in the house. You think of Aquarius, I think of friends and networking and new groups of people. And then the 12th house is Pisces house, which is like the house of retreating back. So you may be going on a retreat. You may be, maybe that classroom setting I saw back there was because you're signing up for something new, because Aquarius is like cutting edge. And so this would be great for you to do something like that. Take a class that gets you kind of to step away a little bit. But the 12th house wants you to help break old karma, okay? And it wants you to retreat and rest. So spend time with friends, make sure you're getting your rest time also. Sun, Aquarius, 12th house. And now let's get this big bowl of charms here. I'm talking a big bowl, see that? All right, let's get you the fun part. Like people kind of talk. Okay, interesting. Even though I tossed them far, they landed more at the bottom. All right, let me flip a few things over here. You got this funny little guy up here, the top, with the letter R. Okay, so this little guy in the letter R, you got a tree of life over here. All right, that could be a friend showing up. All right, you got a drum kit here on the 6th. You got a little book, wide open book there, right there towards the end of August. So maybe you are just like a wide open book. That's why it'd be great for therapy right now. Let me flip some of these over. Even though I don't think it's there, but I saw the word house. Okay. All right. So, and it actually is, because I've got an S down here. A couple of these ones from the side in. Okay. So let's start. So we have the book up here at the end of April. We have the drum kit on the 6th of May. We have the letter E on the 9th. We have the letter O kind of between the 13th and 14th, the letter U on the 15th. We have a measuring tape over here on the 18th with the letter D. We have a little house here on the 19th. So I don't know if you're moving or thinking about moving or getting ready to move, but it looks like I see the word house and measuring tapes and an actual house. We have the letter H on the 21st, the 23rd, the letter B, along with a piece of hematite. We've got a little moose here on the 25th and a bunch of circles here between the 25th and 26th. The letter P on the 27th and the letter R on the 28th, which is like PR, public relations, or it could be Puerto Rico. The word O. All right, on the 30th, you've got little rolling pin and another tree of life. See the word hub, pub, hour, H-O-U-R. And then down at the bottom, we've got the letter C, P, S, E, H, 2 I's, an R, and an E, along with the word royalty. See the word she, see the word cops. What else do we have? The word hire, H-I-R-E, or hires. So maybe you're hiring someone, public relations. See the word bus, B-U-S-I, almost like busy. Any names? Do I see any names? I don't know if I do. Okay. All right. Well, you take a look. I'll just keep an eye here, see if I see anything else. Okay. All right. Now, let me give you some more power days. So it really looks like everything's kind of towards the bottom. Like that last week looks pretty chock full. And even the week of the 18th looks busy, but the beginning of the month looks a lot quieter. Okay, so maybe that's the time when you really get the rest that you need. Now you rolled the sun, and the sun rules the sign Leo. So the moon will be entering the sign of Leo on Saturday, May 3rd at 7:29 a.m. It'll be there Sunday, and it will be there Monday until 3:40 p.m. Those are going to be power times for you. You also rolled Aquarius and you rolled Pisces, and they are right next to each other. So you get a nice little span of time here. Let's see. The moon moves into Aquarius on Sunday the 18th at 1:29 a.m. That's where we have the measuring tape and the letter D. We go through, let's see, the 18th, 1:29. So we go through the 19th and the 20th when the sun moves into Gemini. Then we continue because you rolled 12th house, which is Pisces. So you get the 21st, the 22nd until 12:26 p.m. These are power times for you, Libra. Thank you for listening.